In terms of sexual identity, politically identify as a lesbian woman, and that's all I'm willing to label within myself at this particular moment. In terms of gender, I identify as a question, and I continue to look at how that looks like. I am Immah Reid. I work for Artists for Recognition and Acceptance, Afro Kenya. As artists in Afro Kenya, we are 30 queer women who use different forms of art. We have visual artists, we have performance artists, and writing artists, word artists. We have poets, we have novelists, and we have music writers. What that has looked like for us is too much potential and very limited resources. Social media has been our best way of organizing. Our events are published on social media, which has been safer for us than the interaction of going around slums in Nairobi, having conversation with queer women, but also problematic in that those persons, especially considering the economic challenge that it is to be a queer woman without economic support. I might have data to upload a podcast, I have that, but the person who is in Kibera slums can't even open a video or anywhere, so even the access of that is limited, and it's very elitist in thought. And to work through resources to get us to a space whereby we can organize even in a rural area is a bigger conversation and very important one. But social media has been beneficial in that way, but it's very exclusionary to other people. The digital world was very important to creating feminist spaces in Nairobi. Most of the information we could find was through books, as expected, and it's very hard to access books of feminist black power, as you would want. It's easier to find Audre Lorde, Maya Angelou, and share those books amongst us, but that looks like access also. Is that person your friend? Do you have the resources to get the books yourself? So most of what we ended up internalizing in the last 3 years has been what we can access through feminist talks by Chimamanda back in America, what South African feminists are doing, what Nigerian feminists are organizing as. And what we have realized is that feminism is not even similar across two countries in East Africa, leave alone Africa. That has looked like all the material which is more accessible for us from the South. Collaborations with organizations in South Africa and Botswana and Zimbabwe have been how we can find material that's already prepared. And it's been important that we keep navigating and putting out as much material out there. That's my previous conversation of all the content we create and our inability to join into that conversation, especially around academic papers. What feminism has been academically is not something that is very easy to understand, whether it's accessible in the digital world or not, for our members and the people who are willing to have these conversations with us. But it's been interesting, and it has helped us keep in touch with each other. For example, the Kenyan creative space is under attack by the Film Board of Kenya, Ezekiel Mutua specifically. That we wouldn't be able to navigate and support each other if we didn't have a digital space whereby we are having these conversations and information on who is being oppressed, which movies have been banned, which books are we not allowed to access as queer persons in Kenya. The work we do is situated in a space where we walk in and assume we are going against the system. And within the first contract signing, you are part of the system. And for years, you feel that a change can happen within that structure. And the disappointment that it hits us when we realize we are all navigating power spaces. We are fighting for resources for people like governments are, like you and other regional bodies are doing. And I feel we are missing the point a lot. And it's sad, and we need to have those conversations as fast as we can while we still have space as a continent to get together and do something magical that does not come up with one idea of what gayness looks like or what transness looks like in Africa. We are removing ourselves from our people. As organizers in the civil society, we have a lot of characteristics I have seen in politicians in Africa, where the corporate is entering our spaces, and we need to check ourselves repeatedly.